Hi, this is Mike with geartrail.com, and today I want to talk to you about the Osprey Stratos 24 backpack. It's a day pack, probably one of the most comfortable packs I've ever used. So for starters, why don't we talk about the way that this thing fits. The first thing you notice when you pick up this pack is that it's built like a small internal frame pack. There are two vertical stays that run the length of the pack that give the pack rigidity and give it a lot of structure so that it can carry a load really well. There's also a good suspension system with good shoulder straps as well as a very nice hip belt. If you look at the pack from the side, you can also see that it's got a really nice contour. And what that does is that even though it's a small lightweight pack, it doesn't just lay or hang off your shoulders. It actually contours to your back, and it makes for a really nice load carrying capability. Now we'll take a minute and we'll zoom in on some of the detailed features that this pack has. Okay, well, let's take a look at the pack from the back side here. When you start looking at this pack, you can see that a lot of thought was put into all the details of this pack. We have ice axe loop here. There are actually two of them. A nice bungee system at the top for attaching your ice axe or your poles. Excellent compression system to keep your load stable. Right here on the outside there's this really stretchy pocket, and you can put small items in there. You could even stuff a jacket in there if you needed to. Small zipper pocket up here at the top for small things. Got my first aid kit, let's see, headlamp and other small items in here. On the sides, there are also some small pockets. You can put water bottle in here, or if you had something tall like tent poles or a tripod, you can put one end in here and run the other end through up there on the side. So let's take a look at the pack from the suspension side. You can see this great hip belt. This is where this is one of my favorite features of this pack. Really wide hip belt and these nice mesh pockets. They're really pretty big enough for not just a power bar like I've got here, but you could probably fit several power bars in there. You could probably even get an apple in there if you wanted to. I was telling you that the straps are comfortable, but one thing I didn't mention is that there are these two small elastic bands on each side for your hydration hose. So you can either put your hose to the right like mine, or you could put it on the left. And because there are 2 points that hold it in place, that hose doesn't really get away from you. You have to have a sternum strap, and I always like it when they remember to put a whistle on that sternum strap. The only other thing I want to talk about from this side is the hydration system, but we'll probably want to zoom in on that and take a closer look. Okay, to talk about the way the hydration system works in this pack, I've removed the hydration bladder so that you can see into the compartment where that hydration bladder goes. Now, I hope that you can see that there's a mesh panel that sits right here. And then the main compartment of the pack is held away from that mesh panel by those two vertical stays I talked about earlier. Between the mesh panel and that main compartment is a space that's a couple inches wide, and it's a perfect width to fit your hydration bladder. So what they've designed here is a zipper system at the top, so that you can slide that hydration bladder into that gap. Then there's a loop at the top that you attach your hydration bladder to. Then you can just zip that panel closed, take your hose, thread it through the opening here, and then secure that hose to your strap. There's also another sleeve that's on the interior of the pack. I haven't quite figured out why that's there, but I have used it to store small items that are in the main compartment that I didn't want to get lost. But as far as where I would want to put my hydration, I definitely like this option. I know I've had my hydration bladder leak before, and if the hydration bladder leaks out here, it's not going to get anything else wet in the pack. So we've gone through just about everything I wanted to talk about on this pack. Just for a final tour, I took everything out and thought we'd go through some of the things we just talked about. So if you remember, we have a nice suspension system on this side, nice wide hip belt. The mesh panel here. Behind this you've got your hydration system. You can see this pack is nice and rigid. When it's empty you can really get a sense for that. And I can even let go of it with one hand and the pack just holds firm because it's not, like I said, it's like a little internal frame pack. On this side we've got this external pocket right here, side pockets as well. The zippers are real sturdy zippers, and they've got these large zipper pulls which are real nice if you're wearing gloves, but you know, you just stick your finger right through there if you want to. Zip it right up. Have this pocket on top for small accessories. If you look inside there, it's probably about the size of a 1-gallon Ziploc. Nice compression straps here on the outside. That really completes the overview of this pack. I loved having this pack. I think it's probably my favorite pack, and on a scale of 1 to 5 I'd absolutely give it a 5. This is Mike with geartrail.com. We'll see you out on the trail.